Hello guys and welcome back to the STPL. My name is Kix. You are joining me here for ReV versus SouL. Now in a lot of, I guess a lot of people's surprise even, ReV have managed to tie the series up 1-1. Madinho taking down Buell in a TBT. What a sick game by him. Really glad to have been able to cast that as well. That's one of the most, trouble is, you know what, I'm looking at myself and it's so weird. Usually I like stare at Rapid's camera because it makes more sense, but I'm staring, but my face is like right in front of me, and it's so weird, it keeps putting me off. Like, when I was trying to fix my mic cable earlier when I got a new one, I was listening to my old one, and I was trying to talk, and trying to talk while hearing your own voice is the hardest thing in the world, I'm fairly certain. Like, I've never done anything that's been that hard, but you know what, we're here. We're in ReV vs SouL. It's going to be game number 3. Let's have a look at what players we're going to be seeing here today. For Clan Revolution, we're going to have XzOz. Now, XzOz is 4 for 6 overall in the STPL. It's not showing his this round stats, but he has played a couple of games against his opponent's race. He is 3 for 1 at the moment, so he's doing pretty well in PvPs. But nOOB is 4 for 1 himself, 11 for 2 overall in the STPL. This is going to be an uphill battle for XzOz, but I'm certainly looking forward to it as we head in to the map of today. It's going to be Katrina SE. We've actually had 5 PvPs on here already. Let's have a look at who they were between. Kim Quacks actually took down Fisheye in a PvP. Headmaster took down XzOz, so XzOz has played on this map and lost. Yeti versus DeWalt. DeWalt actually took down Yeti, so that's... I've got a lot to work on with my overlay. It's a little bit buggy, so we'll stick to the old screens we know that work, and then I can sort all this out over the weekend. But basically, Katrina SE, really solid map, 4 players, top, bottom, left, right spawns, very choked up middles, which makes it hard to push around, but very close rush distances if you do spawn in those diagonal positions. Let's not wait any longer, let's get into the game, and let's find out who's going to win between XzOz and nOOB. And starting us off here in the 12 o'clock position, we do have the white Protoss fighting for Clan Revolution, XzOz. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom middle, we do have the blue Protoss fighting for SouL. It's nOOB. Okay, so in terms of PvP on this matchup, we've seen a good number of them. We've seen a lot have ended by one guy just attacking the other person not being ready. We've seen a lot of Zealot micro, a lot of Zealot harassment. We've also seen a lot of, well, I've got more goons than you, so I just beat them in the early game. But we've also seen a good number of absolutely amazing games which have gone on really long. We've had Reavers, we've had Shuttle micro, we've had lots of Dragoons, lots of Templar. The only thing I'm missing is Dark Archons. Honestly, Dark Archons are one of my favorite units in this game. We did see a lot of them used earlier on in round 3 on Plasma, but Katrina SE not really headed into those as of yet. Now we are going to see a gateway for nOOB, so XzOz looks like he's going to go for double gate, so here's the first major difference in how this is going to play out. Obviously double gate, a little bit more powerful early on because you do have those Zealots, but as long as your Dragoon micro is good, you can actually micro down all the Zealots without taking too much damage. Now I know that nOOB has very strong Dragoon micro, so this is a little bit of an interesting choice from XzOz, maybe feeling like he can't take down nOOB in a macro game, wants to get a little bit of an advantage early on. Is he going to transition this into a 3 gate, or is he going to try and tech behind this as well? PvP obviously decided a lot by the tech choices. If one person doesn't go for an ops and someone goes DTs, it's just game over. And unfortunately, there's absolutely nothing you can do against that. But hopefully, we will see a little bit more of an interesting game here. After coming off the back of Medinho versus YOL, I really hope we see another upset because that'd be really cool. Obviously, SouL Gaming have gone completely uncontested this round against everybody, so it'd be really cool to see them actually dropping a set to ReV. Obviously, I know Fujikura, if he's watching, the clan leader of SouL, is going to be like, why would you want us to lose? But it's like, sometimes you've just got to root for the underdog, you know? Medinho was definitely an underdog, it's an ASL qualifying player, YOL, but you know what? He did play a very solid TBT. And there's no reason why he couldn't beat him again if he was to play. I mean, they both did go to factory, so they did have mirror builds. And Medinho got the better of it, and that's not something many people can say. YOL has nearly gone undefeated in the STPL until now, so great work by him. XzOz not had the same kind of luck as, or not luck, but not had the same kind of games as Medinho, so he's been up against some really, really strong opponents. He actually lost against Bonneth in a PvP, so that was kind of insane. XzOz, of course, moving forward yet again with his Zealots. There are already 2 Dragoons out there. This is where that long rush distance is really coming into play by nOOB. Able to get his units in the correct position to defend, able to get enough units, and you can just see that the Zealots of ReV, or the Zealots of XzOz, aren't really doing all that much. He managed to get 1 kill. Oh my god, he's actually in a proxy in the vein. This is a very, very important moment. Don't lead the Dragoon back to your proxy, man. This is not going to be good. He's trying to keep this... Oh, I see what he's doing. He's pulling the Dragoon away from the front, but thinking better of it, he's going to send his other two Zealots back. You know, the Zealot does turn, try and kill the Dragoon. Doesn't get any kills, though. And nOOB is actually going to be scouting around for a proxy probe. He did see a probe enter his base, and he does manage to find it, so XzOz unfortunately isn't going to be able to proxy anything if he was planning to. It is going to be 3 gates like I thought it might be to follow this up. We should see nOOB going into a robo fairly shortly, if he hasn't already, which he has to do for Nexus first. So things are looking pretty good for nOOB at this point in the game. Obviously, things aren't decided until it's over. But you've got to obviously give the edge to nOOB in this situation. Now, that should all be up to date now. I've just quickly changed my Streamlabs overlay while we're waiting. We've got XzOz with a shield battery on top of his ramp. That's going to allow him to stay alive against any possible counterattacks. I mean, shield batteries severely underused outside of PvP because kind of when you're getting killed by units in other matchups, it's usually too quick. Your shield batteries really do too much, but you can see in PvP in these small little engagements like this, it really has helped him. But the trouble is the shield battery's out of mana. It is going to be 4 Dragoons against 3 and 2 Zealots, so looks like XzOz is going to get the better of that engagement. Looks like he wants to try and chase this down, and this is not necessarily a bad choice. He knows that nOOB has put 400 minerals into a Nexus behind this, so he knows there won't be as many units back at home, but there is 3 gateways back here. There's double shield battery coming up for nOOB, and nOOB is looking to solidify his position at the top of his ramp and his choke. But does XzOz have enough? I think this could be a little bit of an overextension. He is going to be up against 3 gateway defensive production. The shield battery actually spawns with 200 health, 200 shield even, I think about if I remember correctly. XzOz actually losing a unit already. Another single Dragoon going to be coming over. Looks like he did cut Dragoon production for a little bit to get this Nexus up, which is certainly something. Now, that should all be up to date. That is a good point. Incomplete is a very, very nice guy. And there's also 12 of him if his clan leader picture is to be believed. What I need to do at some point is make a screen where I use all the clan leader photos, because that's really cool. But we've got Forge Sentinel coming up here for nOOB even, so he is going to be going Templar Robo coming up as well, so he is at least going to be able to go for an observatory eventually. His Nexus is finishing up, transferring his probes at the right time. Hopefully in round 4 we'll see a little bit more of Abilov. He is Care Bear ReV, hasn't really played too much for them since round 1, I believe it was the last time he properly played. I know he's suffering from some wrist injuries at the moment, so I think that's why he's kind of stepped down a little bit. But with people like Medina picking up the slack for him, just really does help ReV out. And they've also got Curious DM. There was someone else they added, the Camper, who actually did a very good job in round 3 as well. So now, in terms of this game, we're kind of hitting a little bit of a lull. PvPs sometimes get into this, where both players just macroing up. SouL, despite getting a latent Nexus, despite losing a lot of units, is actually finding himself at a supply advantage, so he is macroing this very, very well. His pro count very healthy across both of his bases as well, so looks like nOOB is going to try and continue this advantage, likely going to send out a probe and take a third base on one of the other mains. Looks like he could be heading down here. This obviously does give him access to a fourth base if he wants to, and it's also probably the furthest place away from nOOB's base other than his own main, and he does get this high ground to defend this choke here and this high ground as well. So things are definitely looking up for nOOB as he goes to secure a third base. Could even just be using this to create a scouting pylon and take the natural. This would certainly be the longest rush distance of any base minus his own one. So this is actually a very, very nice choice as a infantry base. Hopes of Sin Protoss take the middle base as like a 3v3 now. We are going to have the Observer. It's going to scout both of the DTs, and he does have a cannon at the front with an Observer. So these DTs, unfortunately, for nOOB are not really going to be able to do too much. And you can see immediately SouL is adding on a cannon in his natural. He's got 2 Dragoons back to help defend against the shuttle as well, and he wants to make sure he doesn't die here. Now, this is really, really solid play coming out from SouL, I have to admit. This is probably the best I've seen him doing in PvP throughout the STPL so far. Obviously, if you're watching XzOz, and I'm wrong about that, I do apologize, but you're definitely showing a great showing here, and I'm definitely very, very happy with this. Looks like the Observer is going to go in, scout that there is a Robo and an Observatory. Obviously, he knows the Templar tech is done, and he's going to scout the gateway count as well, which is currently sat at 5, going up to 7. We do have SouL still only on 5, going up to 6 himself. Should see him add another gateway on as well, but he's obviously got to be careful where he builds the gateways. The Templar Archives coming in. nOOB didn't opt to go for that expansion. He is actually saving for a Nexus, but he's not putting it down just yet. I think he's kind of deliberating where he wants to go. There we go, he is going to build it on the other main base. This of course does give him the option of going for some kind of base trade a little bit later on if he needs to. He can have more gateways there. There's obviously a lot of building space. We are going to have a double High Templar, double Dark Templar drop, but is this going to be intercepted by XzOz? This is a very, very dangerous, precarious position for this drop from nOOB, who does not have shuttle speed just yet. Oh my god, he's actually going to get caught. Now nOOB does see the shuttle. XzOz, I think, just about missed it, but this is going to be a big, big moment. There's actually not that many units here for nOOB. Could XzOz push through? Good storms. Huge storms on the army. There are DTs here as well. There's no Observer. So could this be an overstep here by XzOz? He has scouted the third base with an Observer, but he's getting a good engagement here. The only problem is there's no Observer, so he can't kill the DTs, but he's killing so many Dragoons. Is he going to be able to continue doing this? He does need to pull back. He's lost a good number of units. He's actually finding himself down in supply. Now, a great engagement by nOOB, and his macro off of his gateways back at home doing very, very well. 7 units spawning at a time, going to be doing a huge amount of damage. And these DTs still being very, very annoying for XzOz. I don't know why he pushed without the Observer there. The Observer's back here for some reason. I think he was a little bit worried about a DT coming in behind. Does manage to get a snipe on that Observer. Does know about this Nexus at least, so that's something. But nOOB obviously in a very, very good position now. He's going to be up a base He's got that shuttle with 2 DTs and a High Templar and still did lose one of them. He should be a little bit away from a storm on this High Templar. Unfortunately, we can't click it to check the energy, but we should see that heading up to the natural expansion very, very shortly. And if he does get up there, I mean, he doesn't have speed just yet on his shuttle. Doesn't even have a robust support base, so he's not going to be able to continue. He's not going to be able to like go sonic speed to get to the big base a little bit easier. But here we go. Looks like we are going to have the DTs in the shuttle dropping down. We see an immediate pull on the probes. The cannons actually going to do a lot of damage to these 2 DTs, who are going to find themselves pushing over. Now the units of XzOz are going to be trying to go through. We did have a storm. Wow, 11 kills. I don't think that was all probes though. And looks like we are going to have XzOz try and go for this counter. nOOB's units are out of position, but he's got a lot of reinforcements coming in. This is quite a meager force here by XzOz, who's trying to take control of this high ground, but he's going to have to be careful. There is going to be 2 storms here in just a moment. And I almost feel like it'd be better just to try and snipe the Nexus here, but this is his entire army. And nice storms going down on the units. As I said, second storm seconds away. And no target firing on those units. Looks like the probes have been pulled as well, just to glitch out some of the Dragoons. And that High Templar did manage to, wow, he actually moved forward. He was a little bit of a ballsy guy, but does manage to take down all of XzOz's units. I think did I just miss a storm? It feels like I missed a storm. Yeah, looks like all the probes have been pulled away though, so things aren't as bad as they could be. But nOOB is going to be moving in. He's moving up this high ground onto where the 3rd base is. From XzOz even. I mean, things are kind of looking very, very good for nOOB now. It's kind of hard for nOOB to come back and win it, or for XzOz even to come back and win this game. He is below on gateways still. The DTs actually did manage to kill one of these gateways a little bit earlier, so I mean, that makes it even harder for XzOz to try and come back. He's just now getting base parity, but he is going to be down in army supply. And things are not looking too good for XzOz. He is losing more and more units, hemorrhaging them. Does try and get a storm, and actually ends up storming his own zealots more than the opponent's units. And here we go. Looks like this could be the final engagement in the game as nOOB moves up to the 3rd base. Does get a huge storm on top of the probes. Doesn't kill that many, but there is a single Dragoon left to save the day against all of these Dragoons. There's a thing that Rapid usually says in Pratchett. Obviously there's controls, and the way they count is they have one too many lots. And this is certainly lots of Dragoons right now as they head into this 3rd base. They're going to take down the Nexus. And with that, going to take down XzOz. GG! nOOB takes game number 3 to take SouL up 2-1. Okay, so that's going to take us into game number 4. This should be a fairly cool game. It's between someone I'm not really sure who he is. It's a newer player for ReV. He did get added to the roster. Unfortunately, he's not in the database, so there's not going to be as many sort of overlay things going on for this one. But should still be great, and we'll see that game when we get back after the